Hello, everyone. I am Mamang Matsidiso Mukoni. Welcome to Season 2, Episode 6 of HRG Nkulu Ndondo, the second show, brought to you by Native Intelligence Dialogue TV channel, produced by Search TV. Here again, today we have HRG Nkulu Ndondo, the second. Welcome to the show, Mkulu.
Thank you.
We're
Thank you.
glad. We're always glad to have you here.
No, thank you. Thank you very much. You're very kind.
My pleasure, entirely. So, Mkulu, without wasting any time, we had some very interesting discussions with you. In the previous two episodes where you were talking about the congratulatory visits and so on, and it seems to me that you had so many different ancestors, from the vendor, from the and there was just so much that it seems like you have relations even in quarters unexpected. You are here as Mkhulu Ndlondo, the second, right? And then you told us that when you went for training as a traditional healer, of course, you were called by the name of your spirit guide, who is Saint Manyisa. But now you're Mkhulu Ndlondo. So I'm a little, I need some clarity there, there's just a lot happening. Could you maybe clarify some of the relations there and what's happening with this also Mkhulu Ndlondo when your spirit guide who actually broke spirit was Saint Manyisa? There's a lot. I just have so many, so I just had to put it all out there.
Yeah. No, I hear you.
Yes.
I was reflecting as you were speaking and thinking of a way to respond to the different twists and and turns of your question.
Yes.
It's a very pregnant question. It's very rich. And I appreciate the question because it tells me that you really listen when I speak. And the fact that you listen suggests that someone else out there can really listen if they want to. You're very articulate. I must hand it out to you. Oh, you're welcome. I could answer your question, with one sentence, but it won't be helpful for the purpose of imparting knowledge, sharing my existential experience with everyone. I'm willing to do that. I am passionate about that.
I can tell.
I was told, Tamaya, go teach the teachers, go train the trainers. So this is part of my journey.
Okay.
So I elect not to answer your question directly, but to put it into context deductively.
Okay. Indulge us. That would be great, actually.
Yes. I think there are a lot of questions that you'll have as we go along, perhaps that will give rise to other shows, focus areas of subsequent shows as we speak. And I can't think of a better way of pitching my response to your question at the level of generational curses. There is so much talk about generational curses on social media. And when you watch and listen to people speak about generational curses, they are very topical. You just scratch the surface. I don't think they have a proper grounding, a deeper understanding. Because if you've got to, or allege to, or purport to understand phenomena, you can't allege understanding of anything if you cannot appreciate the root causes and the root structures. Those are two different things. The root causes and the root structures of the problem. Then you cannot uproot it. That is why we've had problems with uprooting colonialism since 1963. You know, that's because we did not have an appreciation, a thorough appreciation of the root causes. And if you do not have an appreciation of the root causes, forget about root structures, because they come from the causes. So you'll just go on a wild goose chase. You know, you just go out there thinking that you are solving a problem. And that is why when you look around and you have a major conference to deal with colonialism, Western imperialist countries go on with their lives simply because they know you're not addressing the cause. That's where we can park it there. But then to come back to your question, let me base it on my family so that we bring it home, we make it alive.
I think that will be best.
Yeah. You see, I am Kutumela. I don't doubt that. I know that for a fact. And not because of some DNA. I went underwater and it was confirmed. So let's be clear about that one. So, me being Kutumela, where do I come from? There is a history to me being me now. Kutumela was married to Fidlen, my mother, Julia, Nobayeni Julia, Paulisana Kutumela, ni Fidlen, was married to my father, and I came to be. But then you see, my mother had parents. Oma Rose was her mother.
Oma Rose has been featuring throughout your journey.
Yes.
Yes.
It's my maternal grandmother. My paternal grandfather, Fidlen, Davidson Fidlen. Okay? Davidson Fidlen's father was Fidlen. I don't know his first name. But he was married to Madlamini in Ikopo to bring about Davidson Fidlen. Okay? And then, on the other hand, Oma Rose had her own parents. Her mother was Rosena. Rosena was from Mozambique. Okay? That is why they resided in Butterworth. Not Butterworth. Butterworth is in the Eastern Cape. What is this place?
In Mozambique.
No, in Mpumalanga. I'll remember the name. Butterworth, come on. Butterworth is in the Eastern Cape. I'll remember the name. It will come to me. Rosina Mozambique was married to Manyisa, my great-grandfather, to bring about Oma Rose. Okay? Now, Saint Manyisa, he was not a saint then, he was just a healer. All right? Manyisa and King Neptalo Ramabulana, the third, were friends. And Manyisa was the traditional healing practitioner of the Ramabulana royal household. So Manyisa and Ramabulana, King Neptalo Ramabulana, then come to an agreement that Oma Rose be betrothed to the Ramabulana royal household. There was a very significant reason for that understanding. And the significance of it was that Nkulu Manyisa, being a gifted traditional healer, gifted for spiritual healing gifts, and being the protector of the royal heritage of the Ramabulana royal household. If the two bloodlines were to come together, they would produce an offspring who would then be gifted for spiritual healing and royal blood. Because traditionally, as a people, it's a standard.
You did mention it in
Previously, yes. In
marriage.
yes.
Yeah.
A royal and a royal birth a successor to the throne. But a royal and a commoner birth a child. So the child to be born of King Neptalo Ramabulana III and Oma Rose being a commoner would be a child and could never claim the throne in the royal household of the Bavenda. Okay? Now, in our culture, marriage is approached in a generalistic context. That means it is families that get into a marriage relationship that is consummated through the offspring to protect specific interests, to advance specific interests that are important to them. They will differ from family to family. Okay? Now, because it is a matter of family and family, it is a matter between elders. It means these two families would get married without the offspring even knowing there are discussions about marriage. And those discussions center on them. It is not children's matter, marriage. It is a matter for the elders. So in this case as well, there were discussions between Ramabulana household and Manyesa about Oma Rose being betrothed to Ramabulana royal household. Discussions were done and everything. It was just a matter of Oma Rose being presented to Ramabulana royal household as a bride. But then there was one mischievous elder who whispered in the ear of Oma Rose to say, "You're just sitting around here. You don't know what's happening. What is happening? Oh, well, you are married. Very soon you'd be taken to Venda. You are married to Venda."
And who knows what else was said to Umaru that scared her.
And then she had her own plans. Very early in the morning, while everyone was sleeping, she packed up her bags off to Pretoria to land in Pretoria, Riverside, east of Pretoria.
Wow.
That is where she then meets with Davidson Fiedler, my grandfather. And then in the late 30s, during the forced removals from Riverside, they were forced into Mamelodi West. And then they were allocated a house in D5. And then 3 years after my mother was born, seventh and last of Oma Rose's children and Davidson Fiedler, my grandfather passed.
That's
Davidson.
Oh, Davidson.
Yes, my grandfather.
Mine says great-grandfather.
Yeah. There is a point to the long story.
Yeah.
And the point is that there is a principle in our customs and traditions that children belong to a marriage. And biology is a matter of insignificance to the question of parental authority. Okay? It's an insignificant matter. So that is the main cause in our families. When you see so much confusion in families, in back lives, and people are saying, what have we done as abantu bamnyama, and all that, it's because of these generational curses and presentism. This tendency to make sense of the past based on current referencing. That is what presentism is. Lack of appreciation of the historical developments that brought about the current circumstances. That is what bring about generational curses. Because here, Umarose was essentially married. Hook, line, and sinker to Ramabulana royal household. She fled and got married to someone else. Who knows, they also went to Van Velach. Van Velach. I don't know whether it was still there. It was already there, Van Velach. Because that's where everybody else got married in Pretoria back in the day, you know, Home Affairs Day.
Yeah.
So, what that meant, customarily, is that Umarose was a bride of the Ramabulanas, because Ramabulana was done with Manyesa. It was a done deal. So Manyesa failed, breached the agreement because he could not deliver the bride. And when Davidson married Umarose, there was no way he could go to Manyesa to pay, to ask for a hand in marriage, because she fled.
Yeah. So they actually did not marry properly.
They married in Western traditions.
So they didn't marry in
according to our customs.
Because it's not accepted in the spiritual realm.
It's not accepted. Yes. So the blood of beast, okay, was spilled to summon the ancestors of both families and Manyesa. Okay? So by all intents and purposes, Umarose is a bride of the royal household of Ramabulana. Belongs in that crowd. So any child that is born of Umarose belongs to Ramabulana, because any child born of marriage, born outside wedlock, belongs to the marriage. That is a principle.
Oh.
Roman Dutch law also, propounds that principle. So, I'm coming up with this story so that you appreciate what I'm talking about by generational curses. Now, here comes Lucas Raditau Titus Kutumela. He wants to marry Nobayeni Julia Polisana Kutumela, a child of Davidson Fitland and Rosie Fitland Nimanyesa. He does not have appreciation of what happened back, or what happened in that family. We are looking forward. He comes there with his cattle. He buys, he pays lobola, and then he gets his bride. And then she gives birth to 4 sons. Salebona, Sipho, Somotwa, Lisiva. 4. Okay? Grandchildren of who? Ramabulana, customary. Now, principle of the primogeniture says only first born child only firstborn sons are availed to ascend to the throne or to inheritance. That is the principle of the primogeniture. But then in our varied and rich customary and cultural heritage, customary practices and cultural heritage, sometimes it is the firstborn son and then Mojalifa, the heir is the last born son, right? So in this instance,
You in the middle.
I'm in the middle, and then my great-great-grandfather, King Greje Nyambos, is assassinated.
Yeah.
His son Salewona flees with his mother, and then boom, 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 boom. My father is born much further down, and then throughout those generations, 4 generations before King Neptalo, Ramabulan, King Greje Nyambos, 4 generations, they couldn't find anyone who would have been willing, who was willing to accede to the calling. The calling for what? To be used by the ancestors to go into the battle, to fight the spiritual war aimed at restoring the family honor in the spiritual realm, to by reclaiming the royal territory of the family. It's not a child's play. I want to promise you that. So Bagwaja, you know, my ancestors, and none of them was willing to do that. There was one in my family, my father's older brother, but my father did not come immediately. My father came 5th, but there was a lady, Rakadi, Black Rokoko, who was second born, and then there was Simon, and then there was one that was named after my Koko, Philip Matome. We called him Pradik, you know, and then it was my father, the 5th. So Simon disappeared. To date, no one knows what happened to him.
Disappeared from the face of the earth.
From the face of the earth. No one, until I was told what happened to him, and it's a whole new story, a whole different story. I'm the only one who knows what happened to him. And none of them, you can interview any one of them, they don't know what happened to Simon. Okay? I just don't want to be distracted from the issue. To generational curses. Yes. Now, it was hoped that my father would. And I'm told that it was not by accident that my father took to psychiatry. Because there is a fine line between spiritual healing and mental illness.
I remember you mentioned that.
Okay? And he was very passionate about the mental health care.
Yeah.
You see?
Yeah.
So he took to science and looked down on this one. Okay? So that's why he wanted me to follow. He tried every trick in the book to get me to have a liking to medicine. I would go and do the science. I would get bored. I am a law, politics, economics kind of person. You know, that's why I find my, you know, blood. Yeah, I'm alive there, you know. And then this one, hey, you would help a lot of people. And then I got to find out that now the main reason is that one of my uncles was an advocate, Daniel, and he was assassinated. He was fired behind the ear, going to defend a case in Bloemfontein Supreme Court, you know, at the time. So he looked at my personality and said, you won't make it, you will die very soon with your personality. But you're talented, you can help a lot of people in medicine. But that was not for me, it was for him. All that. Okay? So, he didn't accede to the calling, and then it was hoped that my eldest brother would. That is why he took names of the ancestors from maternal and the paternal. 2 names of my paternal grandfather and 1 of my maternal. You know? But then he also was his father's son. You know? He went for medical science. He's a medical specialist. And he thinks of these things as these things. These things, you know.
I've heard people.
No, these are the kind of things that people who fail out there. If everything else fails, either you open a church or you become a traditional healer. You can do all these things.
You see? It is belittling, isn't it? It's like kind of mocking, kind of
Yeah, that is the standard of the sect. I don't blame them.
Yeah, no, I don't.
It's lack of exposure, because I too thought that there was no power outside of the legal profession. I felt the power in my chest until I was shown real power, and I look at the law and I wonder what I was on about. You know, it's all about exposure.
Yes.
You know,
yes, for sure.
Yeah. So now, while my paternal side of the family were looking to look in the next generation, because my eldest brother would not have anything to do with the calling. My maternal great-grandfather approached Saint Manyesa. I accepted immediately, and then they come running to him, and I was made privy to the confrontation.
And when you say they come running, you're talking
My paternal side.
The ancestors from your paternal side.
Yes. They come running to say, "Tlhogo ke ya rena. O ka se no tla ka mo lešakeng la rena wa itlhaolela ka go rata."
Okay.
And then Saint Manyesa then says, "A ke gane gore tlhogo ke ya lena. Mara madi a ketimang ka mogare ga ditšhika tša gage ke a ka." You must do a show about patrilineal and matrilineal legal systems so that you appreciate what he meant by that. The blood that courses through his veins is mine. Maybe I should interpret. They came running, my paternal side of the family, they came running after I had accepted the calling from my maternal great-grandfather, Saint Manyesa, to say, "But the bones are ours. You can't come into our kraal and choose willy-nilly at will. Why don't you have appreciation of the fact that we have first right over the child?" Something like that. And then Saint Manyesa retorts to say, "I do not refute that you have got first right, parental authority over the child. But the blood that courses through his veins is mine. I do not, I'm not going to preclude you from offering him any gifts if you have any that you want to offer him, but you must understand that I was the first man on the ball. So all of you must come behind me." So it was a messy situation. It was a messy situation, a mess that was brought about by those that came before me dropping the ball. Now, the heritage of the family of the paternal side of the family must then subdue to the maternal. Do you understand the controversy?
It must have been hard for them. Yeah.
So when we talk about spiritual warfares, when you talk about generational curses, we talk about those kind of things. We are spirit beings as human beings. Okay? We are spirit beings who manifested differently. So we are tied to our ancestors spiritually. So whatever havoc that is wreaked in the spiritual realm affects us in the physical realm. So you will not find your way clearly in the sin world when your forebears are not in sync.
They're not in harmony.
They are not in harmony. They cannot sit together, look each other in the eye, smoke the same pipe, eat from the same pot, and drink from the same cup.
Yes. What causes those generational curses? What kind of things would cause the generational curses? Because I know you've spoken about Omar Rose having run away,
Yes.
was supposed to be a bride of the Ramabulanas, actually was a bride because it was agreed. So would that also be one of the things that causes the generational curses?
Those are the kind of things,
Yeah.
the disputes that are among families. I mean, we don't owe you,
Yeah.
but you didn't deliver. It means we are no longer cordial with one another because we feel aggrieved.
Yeah.
You breached the agreement.
Yeah. Yeah. Would things like, I want to also try to bring it, to maybe an understanding where some people would really get it clearly. Would examples like, as a woman, I have a child by another man, right? The man doesn't marry me. The man never did anything to actually acknowledge that child. So in other words, the child was also not recognized spiritually. Maybe they do know about the child, but then there was nothing then there was no agreement or something that shows that this family respects this one and they want to do right by them. Would that
I
also
hear
be
you.
another thing that causes generational curses?
The child belongs to the mother's family. Put differently, parental authority is not a matter of biology. A father attains parental authority on the condition precedent he pays lobola. That's the only way through which to gain parental authority over a child. Otherwise, you're just a sperm donor.
Okay. So those that
I have a case in the family that I dealt with.
okay, yeah, please do share that with us. I think that would make it even easier.
One of my aunts approached me posthumously. She's passed on. She approached me and asked me solemnly to help her grandson. The grandson was somewhere in the Western Cape University and in his senior years, and then he was approached, and apparently he's fire,
Okay, when you say
I
he was
believe,
approached,
and
you
so
say
on.
He was approached by the ancestors
By the ancestors
to accede to a certain
to a calling. Yes, he's a believer, a born again, and so on.
secular churches. Yes.
Charismatic.
Oh, charismatic.
So she asked me to assist. They gave me instructions on what to do.
The ancestors.
Yes,
Yes.
what to do
Yeah.
for the boy.
Yeah.
I made arrangements with them. They brought the boy over. And then I took a good 3 hours talking to them about meta spiritual, just to ease up tensions and ease curiosities. And then when we got into my temple to do the needful. He told me that he's got his own principles. And I had to respect his principles. And even when you go to a therapist, you have to acknowledge that you have a problem and you need help. And if you don't acknowledge you have a problem and you need help, there's nothing therapy can do for you. So in that light, I didn't even ask for reasons, but he volunteered that he's got a certain pastor who helps him with prayers, and ever since he started courting the partner, the pastor, he can see his light. So I left it at that. But then what makes me talk about this matter is that when the boy's mother got married, okay, I was made privy to the discussions or excerpts of the discussions because I was young. The mother is my big sister, my cousin, because she's the daughter, eldest daughter of my paternal uncle. All right? My senior uncle. Now, so during the negotiations, lobola negotiations, the groom's family, no, the bride's family, my family, asked the groom's family, the groom to be family, what their intentions were with the child. Does he remain with us at home, or do they marry the child as well? They decided to marry the child as well. And when they do that, they conduct rituals to sever ties between the child and the paternal side of the family. They never presented themselves to us, the Kutumelas, okay? So they conduct rituals to sever ties between the child and his biological bloodline. Yeah. And then he was accepted into the bloodline of the marrying family. Yeah. Do you understand what I'm talking about? I want you to stay with me here.
Hence the insignificance of biology.
Biology is insignificant.
Matters. Yeah. Spiritual matters.
I'm taking you to a relationship between me and King Neptalo Ramabulu. I want you to listen to me figuratively. Okay? I'm taking you somewhere here. Now, the child grows up. The family that married the mother preferred gifts in his favor. But when he's approached and he goes to people that helped him understand that it was ancestors from the paternal side, when they said paternal side, he thought biology. And he remained steadfast that the gifts, the people that are approaching him, the ancestors that are from his father's side, and his father is that one. And another thing that complicates this whole matter is that the biological father is a lawyer. Right? So he's more attractive to him. Okay? Now, the adoptive father passes on. Now he's got leeway to move around and trace his biological father. And during that tracing and so on, the biological father, of course, is married and has got his own family and so on. I try to explain to them this simple fact, but very significant, to say,
your father is that one.
Your father is that one. That one is just a sperm donor.
Because that one did the right by the family.
The ancestors got together, severed ties with that one. They accepted this one as their own, and then he was accepted into this family as the firstborn child, not as the adoptive child or what have you.
Yeah. You want
That
to
is
be
why.
an African culture.
That is why, because the younger kids in the family are girls. The younger two are girls. Now, born of
That marriage.
that marriage, but he's the eldest son. So they wanted to prefer these gifts upon
Yeah.
him as their firstborn son, and then he's playing marbles.
Yeah.
Okay, and he doesn't want to take guidance from me. I'm his uncle. Okay, he's got his own principles, and you want to know what causes generational curses.
So his life is a mess because
It has not yet started. Okay, now
I think we should maybe try to wrap it up because
now we go
yeah.
to we go back where we started to King Neptalo Ramabulana, as I said.
Yeah.
Okay, now Saint Manyisa came to me. Now Mkulung Gondro Duduza Mafungwa Kangira Bikinchi also comes and say, this is my son. He comes from my crawl. Okay? But then Manyesa says, your son, you know, married, incorrect. So you've got Manyesa, and then you've got the great ancestor Ndondro from my paternal side of the family. Lucas Radita Umpiricha Mabota Titus Kutumela, my father, married. He did the right thing.
But his mother.
But on grounds that was not right, because
his bride's mother
does not belong.
Where he go.
Okay? Now, they are fighting. I've already accepted the calling. Manyisa is already inside me.
Yeah.
What must happen? Traditional healers, the Gobelas I went to, they've been performing all these things, and their thinking has been that since the spirit guide is a man, then we must have a male goat. So we've been doing male goats. Now, Manyisa is aggrieved, he's furious. And Nganga is furious because you are insulting us. We are men and you want to appease us with male beasts. What are we to do with that? You see where the issue of homosexuality come into play. They are male ancestors, they are male spirit guides, they want female. So I had to take out all these hides and bend them so that we do right by them. And how do you then slaughter goats? Huh? I want you to listen to me. How do you slaughter goats to silence the noise in the family? Acrimonious relationships. How do you bring about warring factions together into harmony using a goat when it's so loud? Ibang gimsindo, kipalento yako lap. You know, that is Ngulundron. He doesn't want this goat. It's making a lot of noise. And come on, there's
fighting, there's like
fighting,
pulling.
Yes, on all manner of sides.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Now, when that happens, it becomes it becomes very challenging for everyone. Now I am told that Koshikuwena, Busa, you know, Nakakiwena, sort this thing out. I had to go get a lamp. It's quiet. To quieten, to silence the noise. And then did the right rituals, and then everybody was in harmony. They could smoke the same pipe, they could eat from the same pot, and they could drink from the same cup.
Yeah.
So the relations, the acrimonious relations were now harmonized.
Okay.
Okay? And then Mkulu Ndondro and Mkulu Manyeza had to come to an agreement that Saint Manyeza will lead me in matters spiritual, and then Mkulu Ndondro would lead me in matters of royalty.
I think on that note we can end this very contentious issue, which I think many people are actually battling with, and they try to find solutions, maybe in the wrong way sometimes.
They mean well,
Yes, yes.
but the vehicle is incorrect.
Yes, the thing is, if you don't,
You can't climb a mountain with Bugatti.
Yes. So, Mkulu, I think because we hadn't actually got to the point where you tell us how you then got to meet Mkulu Ndondlo. We'll leave that for another episode, as we had mentioned before.
Hey, that one is a phenomenon. It's a whole show on its
So
own.
we'll leave that for another time.
Yes.
And for now, I think this topic will raise so many questions.
It is about acrimonious relations, and that bring about generational curses. And unless you do that, harmonize, find a way of harmonizing these relationships, the progeny will not find their way in the sin world.
Yeah.
You can go to the highest mountain and drink the purest spring water.
Your children will suffer if you don't do right.
They will graduate and become actuarial scientists, but suffer like nobody's business.
Yeah. All right, Mkulu. On that note, I think that we can wrap it up.
Yes.
And we will then continue in the next episode. Thank you. Thank you once again. This one is going to raise quite a lot of, I do think it will raise quite a lot of questions, and people will be interested to find out how can I sort out my own issues. You know? Yeah.
Questions mean people are thinking, people are listening, and that is why we are now dialoguing openly, without fear, because the main source of problems in our lives as native blacks is secrecy.
Yeah, exactly.
You know, an uncle molests a sister, they give birth to a child, and the child doesn't know paternity, and there's so much secrecy, and it's a mess, and we will untangle all this. We're not going anywhere. We are here.
Thank you. Before our producer actually smacks us. And to all our viewers, thank you very much for joining us once again. Please do like and share your comments in the comment section. Tell us also where you are watching from, because we're interested to know, where all of you are watching from. And on that note, I'd like to say goodbye, and goodbye, Mkulu. If you'd like to say goodbye to...
Oh, yes. Cheerio.
Bye for now. See you later.
Yes.
And breathe.
Good.